All right, there you go, guys.
If Trisha jumps on, then we'll just have her jump on. Okay, so it being 7 o'clock on September 14th, 2021, I'd like to call to order the Bellingham Board of Health meeting. I am Kelly McGovern, the chair. Vincent Forty Jr. is our vice chair. Bruce Wilson is our health agent. Tina Griffin is our minutes clerk. Robbie Griffin is our tobacco inspector and food inspector. He's also here. And absent at the moment is Trisha Leclerc. Okay, first order of business is to review the minutes from August 10th.
I've reviewed them. You want me to make a motion?
I would love that.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion. We approve the minutes from August 10th as written.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we're going to skip over Mary at the moment. She's going to come on at the very end or when she comes into the meeting. The next thing on the agenda is for Bruce to give us an update on COVID policies, procedures, and what the updates are on how we're doing as a town.
Our numbers still bouncing around 20, 21. Some come off, some come on. So that means, I guess until everybody's vaccinated or whatever, we'll probably hang at that little low number there. We're talking about being able to vaccinate the 5 to 12-year-olds probably early October, which would be nice. President Biden went and made a little speech there, but hasn't really come to fruition. So I guess we're in a holding pattern as to whether vaccine is going to be mandated or how he's going to deal with that policy. Currently, right now, after talking with HR Beth, it was found to be that we follow what the OSHA requirements are at this time. So business as usual until we hear otherwise.
Okay.
So Bruce, do we know yet what the numbers are in terms of are the cases we're getting under 12s, or are they people not vaccinated, or are they crossovers?
It's a little bit of everything.
Really? Okay. But I assume the crossovers are going to be 1/10 of 1%, like
Hold on here.
half a person or two people,
All right, Trish is on.
Yeah, because you said 28, and I'm trying to figure out, I could see it being the young ones because they don't have vaccine, but I can't see it being a great number of people vaccinated. Even though the Delta is doing that, it's remotely insignificant statistically right now. It tends to be in the country, less than 0.5% to 1%. So.
We're receiving a number of emails from the region looking to generate the third dose for anybody with comorbidities that would like a booster shot. Hold on here, I keep getting people jumping in here. The first responders and the early on beginning shots that had the Franklin clinics are going to become eligible for that booster. Actually, I'm getting my booster Friday from Walgreens.
Is that being paid by the federal government, like the first
Yeah,
ones?
same thing. Yep.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know whether they'll be doing clinics or whether they'll just go to your local Walgreens or CVS.
Yeah, I can't get mine technically before October 14th. Because you're supposed to wait 8 months. So I guess that's what we'll see what happens in October. Whatever.
Is that everything?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys all, I fired off an email to everybody, but Esther's mom passed away.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
So sad. She's had one heck of a year.
Yeah. I mean, she's still feeding in the numbers and still available, but I'm trying to, buffer her from some of it.
All right, let's see, next is budgets. We just spoke about that. You're reviewing the budgets. We're looking at them. Everything looks good. No issues there, right?
Yeah, no, everything looks good and on track. We had plenty of money there. It's just that we went over we got close to the cap spending.
Oh, yeah.
Are we, question, Bruce, are we, if Mary's here, she can answer it, but are we budgeted, do we up our budgets like she suggested, or we're waiting for?
Yeah, that's coming,
November meeting?
that's on the fall meeting here.
Fall meeting, okay, good, okay, so we're still okay though, right?
Yes,
We're gonna increase those two budget
Correct.
areas.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying right now, because we're drawing off them, everybody's paid their, what do you call it, food and
Yes.
tobacco.
yes,
Fee.
all the
So our
permits-
money should be there for Robbie especially, you know.
Yep.
Okay, next thing are complaints over overflowing dumpsters and donation bins. And that was primarily over Labor Day weekend.
Correct.
That's when it was out of hand, right?
Right. Well, Bruce had to do it again this week already. Yeah, people put some more junk out there. Not as bad as the Labor Day weekend, but this weekend, there was more stuff out there.
Have we put the camera out yet?
Not yet.
Now, when I talked to,
Might be a good idea.
It might be. I need
When I
someone to
talked
hold the
to-
ladder.
I talked to the bin people this morning. They said that they do have cameras. Now, I talked to Kelly earlier, and she said that they had said that before, but I'm gonna
We've
keep,
heard that one before, huh, Vinny?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna keep on them until they put them up and see if we can't
right.
catch a couple people. I think once one or two people get fined and they know that the cameras are there, that may fade out.
Okay, we'll make an effort to get those cameras up, especially since it's still nice weather. And
Yeah.
people will be
Well, we
dumping.
still need to get it over, Bruce, is it Depot?
On Depot Street there, Tina was gonna try to
Did
get
we
us the
get,
location.
is it right there at the same place where the tracks are, right there in the open?
I did not.
They didn't send a picture yet, right?
I went by, I didn't see it, but this was
They
like,
had it picked up, that's why,
okay.
DPW.
Yeah, they had a
But
work.
there's a nice telephone post and a couple of trees there, so if it's right where the tracks are, we'll be able to get visibility of the road. And hopefully, and if you're dumping that size trash, you need a car or a truck. I mean, that was a lot. At first,
There's always stuff dropped off.
when I saw the
there.
pictures, I thought they were coming in from the parking lot of Larry's. It was not. It was obviously Depot Street, so. Anyway,
Bruce, did you ever find out about the book bin?
Yeah, the company's gone. I talked to Don over at DPW. He said they'll remove the bin, but they're not so sure what the heck to do with it. I mean, that company has no active phone number. The email has been disconnected and their webpage is no longer hosted.
well, we can
So
take the
this
bin
one,
out.
I don't know if you guys know, but so you know those book bins?
Yeah.
So the school had one. I went there to go put books in there and it was full. So there's a number on it. It says if full, call this number. So I called, it says the phone number has been disconnected. So then I reached out to Bruce and I was like, what do we do about this bin now?
Right.
The phone
And
number's been disconnected and obviously the business is shut down. Now you have this huge metal bin full of books.
Yeah.
That's
Well, there's
been like
a-
that all summer.
There's a new book bin that just appeared over at Vets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy from the desk isn't all that sure why that's there either. I don't know whether he was spoofing me or whether he really truly doesn't know, but
Yeah. They can't just drop a bin there without, you know.
You'd hope, but there is also a book bin at Bellingham Lumber across the street there. I didn't go check. Maybe I will check Vets and that one, see if it's full. Is it the same company? Do you know? Bruce, maybe you could
So
check that
I
out.
think, so that, like a green bin and then the.
Yeah, it's a
blue bin
greenish
for the
bin, yeah.
books.
Yeah.
The one at
No,
Vets
this
is white.
one is blue.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and the one that, oh, it's white and it's
Yeah.
for books?
Yeah,
All right, so then they come in all different colors apparently.
don't
So
worry, they'll throw
the
floor
one that's-
shoes and mattresses at it anyway.
Right.
at the school, it's a blue bin
Okay.
and it's strictly for books.
We should check because the others say books only too. We should check, see if it's the same vendor. And if it is,
I mean, I'll
I don't know if it is.
compare
Bruce,
this.
why don't you check that out in the morning, find out if it's the same.
I
Um,
got the spreadsheet. The
yeah, I got
spreadsheet
I got
goes along.
2 perks and 4 housing in the
Okay.
morning, Vinny. I'll get to it when I
Okay.
can.
I'm in Newton tomorrow, but if not, if you can check it later. If not, let me know if you did. If not, I'll go over and check it when I get back.
Okay.
Just to find out if it's the same company. So I'll stop by at the school, get
And
the name.
if the bins are gonna be an issue continuously.
Right.
Just popping up without permission or being overfilled and, you know, a business closing and we have no idea what to do with these things. Should we start putting something in writing, doing a bylaw about these bins or no?
I think so. That's leads into what I was gonna complain about. Currently, we have, I'm not sure exactly what to find it, but currently we have a 48-hour notice. The problem is, by the time you give a 48-hour notice, for the most part, it's always a weekend. You can't get someone to do anything on a weekend. You know, if they had to travel out here and pick it up on a weekend, I'd have no problem. I'm gonna annoy them because it's very ugly, annoying to come into the center of this town or the access from Franklin and we see trash lined up, you know, all over. And it's not a side street, it's on a public way. 126 down
So I
there.
remember when Kelly wanted to take the project on and give benefit of the doubt of, you know, keeping on top of it. I believe it was the board that wanted those bins years ago.
Yeah,
And well, let's call them into the doubt, pump them in. They said the money that they make a year of keep
Yeah.
bins there. But the
Yeah, they
reason
get
why they wanted to get
$7.50 a bin.
rid of it
to keep it there. So the owner of the establishment or the land should be, how do I say it? I'm saying we give them less than 24. They have to pick it up and put it in their dumpster or on the side of their dumpster out of public sight. Because with Larry's in particular, you can put it on the side of the building there and then Planet Aid can go up there and pick it up. If not, he can fill his dumpster, whatever it costs him to empty his dumpster more frequently. I don't care. You're receiving $750. I hope it's a year, not a month, right? It's a year, right?
I mean, what's happening is it's becoming a nuisance where people are dropping off their mattresses.
Yeah.
They're seeing, oh, there was a mattress there, now it's gone. Well, I'll just drop mine off there and
Right.
it's there
That's
too.
exactly what's going on. Yeah.
Last week, there were 2 TV
Yes.
sets. TV sets, right? Sorry. TV sets under Massachusetts law are now considered hazardous waste. So you're dropping hazardous waste over there. You know, that one I've also found paints that are oil-based. I've found chemicals for a pool sitting in the sun, which can explode. So someone can actually be doing a nice thing coming over to dump some clothing off. And all of a sudden there's an explosion in front of the bin, you know? And I'm gonna assume that,
Well, this is what I think we should maybe have a discussion on is instead of us calling Planet Aid or whatever these book places are, do what Bruce and Tim had suggested and start doing a permit system. We have
Okay.
rules in place as to if you want a bin at your property, you have to abide by this, 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 and this, and this, and this. You
Right.
have 24 hours from it. It can't be, you know, and then find them. And then if they want, you know, an annual permit and they could lose it.
Correct.
I mean, if the problem's not gonna go away, but we have to put it on the establishment and not us calling these places all the time.
correct. I like
Right.
that. That's a great idea. So maybe we
And
should
if
put that on for
they-
the next meeting.
And if
Tricia, your
they're,
connection's
you
a
know,
little
getting
bit
hit
hard to
with,
hear.
is it?
Yeah, good.
I think it's virus.
It's sort of reverbing, but
Yeah, we can't hear you. Maybe put it on the agenda, Tina, for next time for discussion of putting a permit
Bylaw
in
bin.
place.
Right.
And putting in some rules and
Right.
trying
And
that
then
route.
if we do it, you know, next meeting, we can institute it or have, you know, I don't know if we have to have a public hearing on it. If we do, fine. Or we can amend this regulation, say from now on, you know, with animals, we needed a permit because it was totally never on the books, you know? And animal control never had a thing. But where we have trash bylaws and where we have
Well, this way, we don't call the we don't
I
call
agree.
the
I agree.
bin company, we call the establishment. So, okay, your permit's, in jeopardy. It's been
Right.
24 hours. You gotta get out there now, or you can't have the bins.
Right,
Right,
if they're a
perfect.
constant offender and they don't want to pay the fine or something like that, then we
Constant
have that bin
offender,
removed.
Yeah, well, to be part of the reg, we'll have to put something together and see.
Right,
Sounds good.
okay, sounds great, thanks.
Your connection is much better, Trish.
I just disconnected from the Wi-Fi and then
Oh.
went back on.
There you go.
Nice and
I
clear.
guess it wants the Wi-Fi.
Get a better signal now. Yeah.
I also did ask Laura to check to see if this doesn't work with the permit idea, banning them all together, if that was even an option. I don't know. I didn't want to overstep, so I had Laura contact council just to see if that's something, the last resort type of thing.
Okay, fine.
So we're waiting to hear back
Waiting to hear back.
from them on that.
Kelly,
Yes.
Milford has some, has a regulation that regulates the cans where they, I think it's by selectmen, but it could be Board of Health as well, but they regulate where they go. And then, there's enforcement on it too. So if if it gets out of hand and there's a lot of dumping and stuff like that, at least we have enforcement for it,
Definitely something we gotta look at.
Yeah, I know
It's a
Milford
problem.
has, yeah, I know Milford has it, and they actually decide where they go.
Yeah, I know, that's something.
Yeah, but I don't know about Medway. Maybe a couple other towns have it too. I'm not sure.
Rentham has a huge problem. I go by a couple of them and they're always overflowed,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
sitting there for months. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, it's a great idea.
I mean, looking at it this way here, if the stuff's just sitting out there when it gets colder, it is an attraction for rodents, and rodents can carry disease. So, we can end up having, contaminated areas with filth, especially when the clothes get wet or a mattress. Oh, how do I call it? That's a roach, well, not a roach, a rat motel, or rodent motel. So, so I'm not against rodents having places to live, but, better there than anybody's house, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Since we're talking about overflowing dumpsters and stuff, Bruce, do you want to talk about Charles? Has that been rectified? It's been cleaned up after they emailed all of us on the board?
Yeah, the Charles has continual issues over there, with the dumpster. Their recycled dumpster that gets filled very frequently. They're currently emptying it twice a week, but apparently the dumpster isn't big enough to handle the requirements over there. I think since Amazon's come into town, most people are shopping with the online where they're able to get their delivery same day or next day. And the dumpster is constantly full. It's over there. They've got a new manager that's starting next week. They got a new maintenance guy that started Monday. And they've got an acting manager up there. So it is getting better. They do respond to calls. And again, a lot of the problem is over the weekends when there's not a lot of staff at the Charles to go and take and remove the stuff and put it into. They have a roll-off dumpster for some of the construction work they're doing there as they rehab different departments. So I mean, as soon as they're aware of it or whatever, they're trying to deal with it. But some of the people just don't even take the time to break down the boxes and fill the dumpster. If they were to crush them and put them in there, that might help. It's not a very big dumpster, so they're looking at trying to get a larger dumpster. But hopefully, once the new manager comes on, I can revisit with him and the acting manager and try to come up with a solution. But I've been in there every day. They've been fine. They've been fined twice. First $100 and then another one for $300 for the dumpster, and then their dog poop container. I also fined them for that as well, where all the containers were full.
So Bruce, that trash we saw by email, that didn't look like one weekend though.
That was perfectly clear Friday.
Really? Wow.
That wasn't just recycle waste either. You had trash.
No,
It was
people-
trash, yeah, it was not only
People were
recycled.
putting household trash out, which is kind of weird because the compactor is working. So, I mean, there's a little deliberate action there, I believe, to cause some trouble. Management is setting a memo around so that people are aware that what goes in what dumpster. See if that helps clarify it.
They might think too, instead of a bigger one, they have I think they're pretty safe to operate. They have the hydraulic ones where you put the thing
That's
in.
what they have a compactor for the
They
household.
do. Okay,
So one of the other things, if they can't get the recycle under control, they're gonna pull it all together and just use the compactor and empty as necessary.
okay, okay. I mean, if they do that, are they technically in violation with the state for you must recycle?
No,
No? Okay, fine. I don't know. They are a business technically, so technically even the businesses people, businesses have to recycle. It's a state law. It's a DEP law actually, so I'd be shocked if they actually start throwing all that in there and then all of a sudden, you know, the problem goes away, but you'll end up getting fined by the state, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, but that's their problem and not ours. We don't want trash, you know.
some of the people don't even take the time to open the lid. They're just throwing it on the ground and expecting the maintenance guy to clean up after them.
Well, I guess you can't build in common sense, right?
I mentioned to them that putting out video cameras may help with the solution, or at least they can find out who the big violators are, and then they can deal with them or find them or predict whatever.
Okay, yeah, that might work.
So I see Mary is on. Mary, are you available to chat real quick about our item?
Hi, guys. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you.
Hi there. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. But thank you for squeezing me in here. Do you want me to just jump in and talk about the agenda item?
Your
Mary, you've
connection
got-
just went funny, yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking up quite a bit.
Oh, Kelly, are you there? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're showing up as muted on my phone.
Kelly's muted, yep.
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
just came on and said that it was really
Hello?
difficult to hear you all of a sudden, so.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No.
Not
Yes or-
clear.
First, give me a thumbs up or not. Okay, if I'm connected via the Zoom, would you call in on my phone? Okay.
So as she's calling in, do you want to do a bill or something?
I guess so. Okay. Like to make a motion, we pay Phil's Landscaping and George Claffey, 1007 South Main Street, 32,850.
All right, I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously.
Hold on. I gotta get these things in front of me now because
Hi, hello, this is Mary.
Hey, that's much better.
We can
Is
hear
that
you.
better? Okay, all right. Okay, all right, no video, just on my cell phone. So Kelly, if it's okay with you, do you want me to just jump in and talk on 2 items that I'd like to go over with you guys?
That'd
if
be
that's
great.
okay?
Yes, thank you, great.
Okay, fantastic. So the first item that we wanted to address was the question of whether it was appropriate to have one of our resources who is currently serving the role of food inspector and tobacco compliance, Robbie Griffin, to be employed either as an employee or as a independent contractor. And so the question was posed to us on which way we should handle this. So after doing some research and taking a look at the job descriptions and taking a look at the IRS compliance, and I will let you know that the IRS favors employers to classify employees to the greatest extent possible as employees, because the IRS would like us to withhold payroll withholding. But there is a series of questions and requirements that the IRS does promulgate to let you determine whether somebody should be classified as a contractor or an employee. In this particular case, after talking with Robbie a few times and taking a look at some documentation, there are arguments that could be made either way, so that we could either classify Mr. Griffin as an employee or as an independent contractor. My understanding is that Mr. Griffin is looking to be classified as an independent contractor and would like to expand his business in this particular area. So with that being said, the town could certainly support that, but there's a couple of considerations that we need to keep in mind. So the first consideration is that if we were to convert him from an employee, which he currently is, to an independent contractor, that change could not take place until January 1st. So the IRS reporting year is a calendar year, and you cannot issue a W-2 and a 1099 to an employee in a single year. So we would need to finish out through December 31st with Mr. Griffin classified as an employee. And then beginning January 1st, if the board chooses, we could then set him up as an independent contractor. In order for that to happen, though, a couple of things would need to be put in place. So the first thing, and I know I'm racing through it, so feel free to interrupt me if you want to. The first thing is that we would need to establish a contract that spells out the duties and requirements of the position, and we would need to execute that contract and have that on file in the finance office. We would also need to have a W-9, a new one, supplied to the finance office with a tax ID number. And in the contract, I would also recommend that you spell out the insurance requirements for the inspector to make sure that they carry their own insurance. The other thing is, as an independent contractor, I know we have currently supplied equipment and materials to Mr. Griffin in performing this particular job. An independent contractor is required to supply their own equipment, computers or printers, and any other supplies and materials that they would need to perform the job. I do know that we are requiring that our inspection reports be handled in a specific piece of software, and the town can certainly provide the licensing for that software, but the equipment upon which he would be performing his services and potentially using that equipment for other clients would need to be supplied by him. So we have talked with Mr. Griffin about this, and so that none of that comes as a surprise to him. But I wanted to make sure that we went through that with you folks on the board as you look to make a decision on this.
So Mary, real quick, so the software would be allowed him to use that for the town,
Yeah.
because it's town-wide, but he would have his own computer, his own iPad or whatever he does to upload it and then
Right.
submit it to us via the town
Right.
email, whatever. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
Yep.
That would
Yep.
be fine. I would assume the software is specific to our town. We have to provide the software for him to access the forms, print them out, and then fill them out. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Mary,
Okay.
a question I had, I know when we spoke earlier, you had mentioned that he might need to form two separate businesses, one for tobacco, one for food. Is that still the case or no?
No, it doesn't appear that that would be the case.
Good, okay.
He would be able to, yeah. And so we just want to be clear when you guys put together the contract for his services, be clear that, those are both of those services would be rendered if that's what you are in fact looking for. So the other thing I just want to, and this sort of goes with this conversation, the other issue that I wanted to talk with you folks about is the issue about the revolving fund. And so we do currently have an article on the town meeting warrant to modify the two revolving funds, food inspection and tobacco compliance. And the language of the article is such that, number one, it is asking asking to increase the annual expenditure limit up to $50,000 for each of those revolving funds, which should satisfy, the activity, the increased activity that we're seeing through the inspections department. I've also made a couple of modifications to clean up and streamline the language so that it was more broadly interpreted. So I can get you a copy of that article, but that is in place and that is going on the November town meeting warrant.
Perfect.
So, excellent. So with that in mind, the limits do apply to these revolving funds. So when you're putting together the contract and managing these services, we want to make sure that we're also managing the related expenses. And I just wanted to share with you guys some numbers that you may not have seen clearly. I took a look at what we did in fact pay Mr. Griffin for the fiscal year ended June 30th of 2021. So this is the period of July 1, 2020 through June 30 of 2021. And our gross expenses were $66,750.
Well, both services, tobacco and food.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, during our COVID times, he was him and Bruce are out there doing, over and above what is normal. So
Yeah,
those are extreme.
I definitely don't disagree with that. But when I take a look at the revolving funds, I'm trying to find the sheet here next to me. We also, in one case, let me see, I heard this right here. In the case of the food inspections, and this would make sense during COVID period, I'm looking at the FY21 report. We did have expenditures in excess of revenues by about $12,000.
Okay.
So we want to make sure, and I will work with you guys, we send out these reports, but I will work with you guys and check in with you periodically during the year to make sure that we're looking at these expenses and we won't have any surprises or any issues,
But
sort of,
Mary, excuse me, with approval of
Yep.
50 in each fund, we'll have 100 total. So there's no way we'll exceed that. It appears the 35 and the 15, which added up to 50, we exceeded that by $16,000 essentially.
Right, and so I'm comfortable with the expenditure limits, Vinny, but we also need to make sure that there's actual money in the funds to cover those expenses.
Got it.
And so that's why I wanted to highlight for you, last year with the food inspection, we actually spent more than we took in.
Yes.
Is that because we
thank-
relax in retrieving our food inspection money? Was that during that time or no?
It could have been, yeah.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that again? I apologize.
We didn't collect our food inspection money until 8 months after the fact. Did that come in? It must have come into play.
I'd have to take a look
It
at
had
when
to have
that
been,
deposit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because that was like $9,000.
That was huge. Yeah.
12, it was between $9,000 and $12,000 that we didn't receive.
Right. They're due in January and I don't think we collected it until July or August. Is that right, Bruce? Is that July or August was around the time we discovered it?
Okay.
You're
then
on
that
mute,
would
Bruce.
absolutely
There we
be
go.
into this.
I'm unmuted. Yeah, no, it was getting used to the software and a few things there.
And our new year, I think is what, July 1st? So we didn't have that,
Mhm.
all that money from January to
Right.
July.
It's
June
just-
30th. So there's the difference. That's what happened.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we can normalize that and take a look at that. Yep. So I think we will be in good shape. So I would suggest that, once you guys decide whether you want to either go the independent contractor route or the employee route, that just let me know so that we know what to expect from the board. And then if you need any assistance working on contract language, we can certainly put you in touch with town council and with our HR department.
Great. Before you go, Robbie, did you have any questions for Mary or for us at this point?
No, I'm good question wise. I will just add too that last year was, on top of being COVID, it was the first time that we actually mandated 4 inspections for every location too. So I know that we had talked about having some of the permit costs, which I know would be FY 2022 item, but just as something to throw in there too. But no, everything that Mary and I had spoken about this prior, and obviously I've had conversations with you guys, so I am good question wise.
Great. Thank you, Mary, so much for popping in.
Absolutely. my
setting us
pleasure.
straight.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for me? If not, I will call out.
Great. Thank you so much. We're done. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
One thing for Robbie, and obviously he's aware of this, the reason we upped the inspections was because it seemed like everybody forgot how to do everything in terms of food preparation, safety. And I guess we can say, even though we upped it, and we had to deal with individual places, no one got ill seriously or died. So
Yeah, it was that
that
and having them open up prior to, remember all the outdoor dining, trying to get them all set up.
Yeah, it was
a lot.
COVID changed everything, how we operated a lot, but people also, when they sort of came out of COVID or got into it, I mean, they just forgot how to do cleanliness, food safety, temperatures. I mean, it was like, I don't know, there was a total mental regression on how to operate a business safely. When it's not being fed to, animals have different gut systems, maybe it's being fed to humans. And there's a reason why the laws are there, so that people don't get sick and die,
I think a lot of it was short staffing.
Yeah, I know, they lost their staff members and they hired new people in, I don't know. Tremendous amount, but not food safety and stuff like that. So I guess, like I said, we were lucky and, whatever. We, I probably should keep the inspection level the way it is because, it's better to get more routine, smaller bites of, to look at instead of seeing something 6 months or a year at a pot, it doesn't really help,
Mhm. Hi, Bruce.
I did chat with Robbie a number of different times about the permit fees and stuff like that. And it's one thing that Robbie and I wanted to look at before the next round of permits go out. Make sure that all the permit fees are in line all across the whole board.
Mhm. Great. That had to have been the difference. I mean, there's no other reason. We've never been over an expended.
Yeah, no, I mean, we doubled some of the inspections and we didn't change any of the fees. And then, like I said, fees all across the board. I mean, we're probably one of the smallest amounts of cost for a lot of the different permits, the septic permits, the construction permits and stuff like that. So, I mean, it might be worth it to take a look at what other towns are doing and compare and see how we all fit in there.
As far as doing the contract, I know if we take the contract from maybe Maryland and one of the previous food inspector contracts and merge the two,
Right.
and maybe get that to Robbie and Bruce to tweak it and then review it before we send it to town council, might be a good idea.
I have a copy of my contract that I used in Framingham, as well as my contract for Waltham, if you are interested in seeing those, just for the tobacco side of things.
We can definitely look at it. I know town council already looked at the ones that we have, but more than, if we want to put the language in there, this is a whole new
Right,
contract,
yeah.
so I'm fine with it, yeah. That's good. But, I mean, it's not gonna be effective until January 1st, but I don't want to wait till the last minute to get it drafted and signed.
Correct.
before that, you know.
Because town council may need time during the holidays to look at it,
Sure.
and we don't want to cross into January and have an
Right.
employee in January and then 11 months as a independent
Right.
contractor. It
Now,
can't-
was it discussed, Robbie, as to whether you can buy the iPad that was given? Because I mean, it's used at this point. Is that even an option?
Yes, so if we were to purchase, the software company quoted us, I think, $170 to purchase the iPad.
Okay.
So at the end
Is
of
that something,
the year.
who do we have to get the permission from, Bruce, do you think, on that, on selling him the iPad? Is that something we decide since we were the ones that purchased it, or how does that work? You're on mute, Bruce.
Here we go. Now I can hear myself. But yeah, I'll look into that, but it's a small amount that should be able to
Yeah.
fit in the budget.
I just want to make sure we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the right way. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you know how those things go there. What do you call that? Computers, laptops, all that stuff. It's outdated less than a year after you buy it. I just hang on to it till it dies, but whatever. It's just me.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it for that, unless anyone else has anything on that subject. No? All right, then let's continue with our bills.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion. We pay David Brown and Dennis Fuentes for 118 Yvonne Road, $9,000 for septic.
Okay, I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
okay. I'm just inking it. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion. We pay Amazon Capital Services $57.87.
What did we buy?
Hang on.
$57, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hang on. It was, let's see. Oh, calendars, 2021, 2022 calendar, 3-month wall calendar, vertical thick paper, something or other, perfect, whatever that is.
Okay,
That was
fine. I was just
$8.98.
curious.
And Office Mate, giant non-skid paper clips, 1,000 of them. That was $10. And then security tinted envelopes, peel and seal, that was $26. So let's see, there's one more here for
It's fine.
$1.
I'm just-
Yeah. And then ink cartridges for the Brother printer, and that was $21.99. That should total up to $57.87.
They have the best deals on the ink over there on
Yeah, they do,
Amazon.
Oh.
They do. All right, I second that.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
I
Aye. Motion is unanimous.
Now, I do have two things for the same 57.87, but let me just see if everything is duplicated, because it's the exact same amount. Yeah, no, I have duplicates on that, but that's fine. Okay.
And I think we have one plan.
Yep,
Uh,
one septic plan.
Just one? Okay, good. Hang on. I'm getting to that. Slow. Okay. Okay, let's see. Like to make it request a local upgrade approval for, let me see, 45 Cranberry Meadow Road for James Earl Jr. Request a local upgrade 310 CMR 15405-1A to allow the
Aye.
septic system to be installed 6 feet from the property line where 10 is required. And then 310 CMR 15405-1B to allow the septic system to be installed 3 feet from the foundation wall and 5 feet for the septic tank. And a poly barrier will be installed where normally 10 and 20 feet are required. So I guess 10 feet is required.
Okay, I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
guess that's it. You have your septic system.
One quick thing, Vinny,
Yeah,
the animal complaint that Tracy and I took today.
oh, yeah, yeah.
We're going to set an emergency meeting for the 21st and invite the family and complaintees
Okay,
to come and discuss so we'll be having a Zoom meeting on the 21st to deal
at
with
7
that,
though, right? Not early, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Okay, good. Because
On
I'll
the
be on
21st.
Cape on Tuesday, but that's fine.
I'll set that up. So it's basically an emergency. It's not a normal meeting schedule, but we'll have that meeting next Tuesday to deal with that.
Okay.
Tuesday via Zoom, or are we gonna start going in? When are we gonna start going in?
It's up to you guys. I mean, we're still able to do Zoom, but I mean,
Well, if you want to do the emergency one, Zoom, I'm better with that, in case I'm late,
Okay.
whatever.
What time? We're gonna do the normal time, 7 o'clock?
Yep, 7
7 o'clock, yeah. First, I
Okay.
thought it was gonna be a morning meeting. I says, no way I can do that. I'm on the Cape that day, so.
Is that the
Oh,
same day we do the morning emergency preparedness meeting too, or is that the same day, the
It is the
21st?
same.
sure when the next one is. I was not,
It wasn't today, so I'm assuming it's next week.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
next
probably
week.
next week.
Okay. I just wanna make
Also,
sure.
we'll have the emergency meeting on my birthday. Hello, Benny.
I have a
Oh,
question.
Jenny.
Is the 21st needed for minutes as well?
Probably.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Are you available, Tina?
I believe so.
We can have it recorded.
I'll know that by Thursday. And we're having an issue with my grandfather's sick and he may be coming home with hospice on Thursday, so we all have to try to help out. And I have a meeting Monday with finance, so I don't know if Tuesday will be available, but I'll know by the end of the week.
Okay,
Okay,
great. And if not, Bruce, we can get her a copy of the meeting, correct?
Right.
For the minutes?
Yep.
So don't, if you can't, Tina, don't worry, we'll get you a copy of the meeting via Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck with your grandfather.
Thank you.
yeah, good luck to on that.
All
Good
right,
luck.
looks like we have satisfied the agenda.
Okay, so,
Like- I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
okay, I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 You beat me to it.
Motion passes. Good night, everybody. See you next
Aye.
Tuesday.
Good night.